Hi, welcome to our channel of IGNOU audiobooks, Indira Gandhi National Open University, School of Extension Development Studies, SOEDS, Master of Arts in Population and Family Health Studies, MAPFHS, First Year, Med 071 Introduction to Population Studies, Block-1 Population Studies, an Overview, Unit-1 Scope of Population Studies.
Introduction. Demography is the scientific study of human population and its components. Social, demography and public health are important components of any development activities and development policy. Social demography focuses on the trends and pattern of population change which directly affects development and economic growth of the country. It is the study of human population and the empirical, critical, systematic, statistical and mathematical way to know about the reproductive change of population, fertility and mortality, and the socio-economic change of the population, migration, in a particular geographic area. Planned population growth positive have effect in the society while unplanned population growth affects negatively not only physical resources and natural resources but human resources too. These trio resources affects by the population growth and public health. All the policy makers and development agents should know the demographic trends, population pattern, population distribution and population structure of the society in order to formulate effective population and health policy. There are various causes of morbidity and ailments, which are either communicable or non-communicable ailments. It is important to know the trends and pattern of diseases among different sects of the population of the country. There is a well-known saying, development is the best contraceptive, which means that development is affected by population growth and population growth is affects development and vice versa. Population growth can be checked through various family planning methods. Now, aging is a new demographic phenomenon in the world which forced to introduce health care for elderly. This unit gives an overview of population studies. After reading this unit, learner would be able to explain the population and its components, 2. Discuss the population characteristics, 3. Describe the scope of population studies and demography, 4. Narrate the population trends and challenges. 1. Point to what are population and population studies. Population is a group of human beings in terms of human population, while population studies means mass of living being at a particular location in particular time. According to Merriam Dictionary, the total of individuals occupying an area or making up a whole is called population. According to Hans Raj, any statistical investigation is concerned with one or more characteristics of a set of individuals or objects. This group of objects may be animate or inanimate, existent or non-existent, real or hypothetical, finite or infinite, and is known as population or universe in a statistical sense. Representative part of population is called sample in statistical studies of population. Demography deals only human population studies. Scientifically, demography and population studies are not mutually exclusive in nature. Demography deals statistical study of human population but not individual human, while population studies deal all aspects of human population, i.e., population size, composition and distribution. Population study focuses on the three components of population: birth, death and migration. These population components alter population at any place. Population size means total number of people living in a particular area during definite period of time. Whether population is higher in one place as compared to the other place, which area has more population, etc. are covered in the size of population studies. Population size is important for policy makers, planners, legislature, medical professionals, educationists, industry, social scientists, and important for government program and development schemes. Thus, size of population indicates the number of persons in the population. Similarly, composition of population is also important for population policies and programs. Population composition deals with the age and sex of population. Composition of population influences components of population dynamics such as fertility, mortality, and migration. Population composition can be determined by the age-sex population pyramids. Thus, composition of population deals with the structure and characteristics of population. Population distribution means characteristics of population in both rural and urban residences. It deals how population is distributed within an area or country. This is also an important component of population studies by indicating how population is growing in a particular area and what is the nature of population. Thus, population distribution is all about the arrangements of the population in different spaces and residences, rural or urban, in a specific definite time. 1.3 Meaning of population studies. According to Thompson, 1958, population studies is concerned with a few relevant questions. What is the change of population size and how it has changed? What is importance of these changes in terms of human welfare? What is the distribution of population in particular area or place of residences? What kind of population is living in a group, community, and what are the different characteristics of these group and community of population? Thus, population study is all about the population size, distribution, composition, and their characteristics. For example, population India in 2011 was 1210 million. In 2001 it was 1027 million and in 1991 it was 864 million. It means during 2001 to 2011 India's population size has increased by 183 million while during previous decade 1991 to 2001 increased by 163 million. We can also know the population change in both rural and urban areas by age and sex from the population studies. Population of area is changing due to three components of population, i.e., birth, fertility, death, mortality, and migration, movement of the people from one location to other. Population is cause and consequence of development which is determined by population growth, socio-economic development and degradation of environment or natural resources of the country. Why population studies? It is a well-known fact that universe is for human welfare and human welfare is being influenced by the use of available natural resources, physical resources, human resources and environment. Based on population growth and its characteristics, all the resources are being utilized for the well-being of human resources. For example, growth of population affects growth of agriculture, industry, educational institution, energy, transportation, medical care institution, etc. Population studies show the path of sectoral development. Therefore, population study is important for economical aspects of population, political issues of government, planning and programs related issues and challenges, social phenomenon, administrative process, to know the situation analysis gap in development and human welfare, demography and population studies. Demography and population studies are not mutually exclusive in nature of application, and both influences each other in the study of population. Various scholars have defined demography as per their operational use in the study. Demos is Latin word, which means people, and graphy means organizing for study. Thus, demography is the science of people. It is the mathematical and statistical study of the size, composition, and spatial distribution of human population and of the changes over time in these aspects through the operations of the 5 processes such as fertility, mortality, marriage, migration and social mobility. Although it means a continuous descriptive and comparative analysis of trends in each of these processes and in their net result, its long-run goal is to develop theories to explain the events that it charts and compares. Bogue, 1969. Thus, demography deals with statistical model of population studies. Population studies are the application of demographic techniques for the human welfare, aspects and development of population. A population study covers not only demographic technique, but also all the aspects of development under the available resources by using technology and human resources. Thus, population studies deals with the size, composition and distribution of population according the demographic trends of particular area. Thus, we can say that demography is the part of population studies. Population studies is method of scientific study of the factors related to socioeconomic, political, health, cultural, environmental, psychological, regional, agriculture and industrial development, etc. for human welfare. Population studies are the study of development issues and challenges and factors influencing development. Demography is quantitative study of population, while population studies are the qualitative study of the peoples. 1.4 Importance of population studies. Population studies are complex exercise of administrative process and policy dimensions as well as development issues. Without knowing population size, distribution, composition, population characteristics and trends of demography, any development programs is like letting loose of the arrow in darkness. Prasad and Das, 2016. The importance of population studies are as follows. Economic development. Population studies determined by economic structure and economic characteristics of the population. Population studies led the working age population and their dependency on economic working age population. The dependency ratio is the best indicator of population studies of economic development aspects. Likewise, industrial development and agriculture and non-agriculture occupation are also concerned of population studies. Population growth and economic growth rate go together. Needs of business hubs such as shopping centers, banking, facilities, transportation, economic zone development, marketing centers, etc. are related. Population structure, political affairs. Population studies are important for political affairs of the country at national and international level. Firstly, we can find out the increasing rate of voters, and secondly, how immigration and emigration rate is influencing national importance. In global politics, program and planning, population studies is the base of development, program and planning based on the rate of population growth, fertility rate, mortality rate and migration rate. Population growth either by natural or by socio-economic and political process forces program planners to formulate effective plan to implement sectoral development across the social group and at various places. Agriculture and food security. Two thinkers of population and agriculture are Malthus and Bosrap, who have thought about the growth of agriculture and population. Both thinkers contradicted to each other. Malthus said that growth of agriculture is arithmetic, while population growth is geometric, and after certain point of time people will die because of shortage of food. While Bosrap was thinking positively and said that population is assets of the country and if population increases, it will lead to use technology and human resources to boost agriculture growth. Social population studies is one of the sources of information regarding social development and social infrastructure need for human population. Population study is the source of information for fertility differential among the social groups. It is also base of social security and social welfare schemes. Cinema halls and entertainment parks are developed based on population trends of any area. Infrastructure population studies is the best source of data for infrastructure development such as roads, water, housing, educational institution, power generation, health care facilities and other facilities. Playground and recreation center are need of the hours based on population characteristics, law and governance. Population studies also ensure the number of security personnel required for maintaining law and order in the locality. Cyber and internet population study that can provide help to projecting population and their requirement of the cyber, telecommunication, internet facilities, mobile phones, SIM subscribers to link the world population in the present era. Computer technology is helping to manage a large population in short duration, and computer technology need arises because of population growth. Insurance and health insurance population studies are important tools for insurance organization and insurance professionals. Insurance for different categories can be determined by the study of characteristics of the population and demographic dividend in the country. Thus, importance of population studies cannot be separated from any developmental process. Everything is for population and population is for everything available in the Earth. 1.5 Scope of population studies. Scope of population studies are wide and linked with all the disciplines. Basically, population studies comprises the mathematical and statistical approaches for quantitative studies of the human population. But it is not exclusive for all the natural and social sciences to study population across the region and duration. Population study is multidisciplinary and interdisciplinary in nature, which involves life science, geography, economics, statistics, mathematics, health sciences, agricultural sciences, politics, behavioral sciences, psychology, ecology, biology, etc. The scope of population studies can be understood as below. I. Population studies and demography. Till now you have already studied population studies and demography in brief. Demography and population studies are not mutually exclusive, and demography includes race, nationality, language, marital status, place of birth, education status, occupation, sources of income generation and inheritance, etc. It also deals with impacts of population on environment, resources, eugenics, migration, urbanization and its problems, human resource and distribution of income and expenditure. 2. Population studies and statistics. Founding father of population studies is John Grant. Number is the best indicator of population studies. Statistics is the heart of population studies and its components. Statistics measures the growth and trends of population over the time and its rate and ratio for particular geographic location. Statistics rates the population change and speed of population change or population tempo. Thus, statistics is the tool and technique of the population studies for population projection and construction of life tables. 3. Population studies and science. Science connotes 4 steps: systematic, controlled, empirical and critical investigation of hypothetical propositions about the presumed relations among natural phenomena. Kurlinger, 1970. Similarly, population studies are all about the systematic, controlled, empirical and critical study of the population, components and factors affecting all the components in demographic events. All the demographic techniques are universal by acceptable. Jingan et al. 2006. Population studies is both positive and normative science, which deals what is and what ought to be respectively. 4. Micro and macro study of population. Population study is both micro and macro study of population. In micro study, it measures growth, rate, distribution and redistribution of population within community in an area (BOG). In macro study, it has covers multidisciplinary and interdisciplinary approaches, population studies and economic activity of the population, population effects by income, education, occupation, labor force, participation, production of goods, services, industrial activities. These are important economic variables for population studies. Population density and capital-intensive technology more popular in the world, and both are subject matters of population studies and economics. Labor supply and demand is the matter of population studies and economic studies. A German scholar stated that I maintain that the timing and the form of most of our German business cycles have been determined primarily by waves in our labor supply. Among the most decisive in the economic life of a country is its population, its people, their number and quantity. Another scholar has stated that developed countries may face the problem of declining investment opportunities as a result of cessation of population growth and disappearing of new territories for settlement and expansion. Ian Bohn is of the view that population growth, size and distribution cannot be discussed rationally except in the context of economic growth or change. Hansraj. 6. Population studies and policy data. Population census is the best source of data for policy purposes. Premi, 2001, has stated that complete and reliable data for population studies is population census of any country. Census is the complete enumeration of head count in a particular area for specific duration. Indian census has been conducting since 1872, every 10 years interval, decadal. First census was de facto after that. Each census is conducting as de jure. De facto census means count person wherever found in single night exercise, while de jure census mean count person at their place of birth or place of legal and regular residence. Census collected, compiled, tabulated and presented information of population regarding general population, economic information, sociocultural information, migration information, fertility information and household information in the name of A, B, C, D, F and H tables respectively. 7. Population studies and marital status. Population studies reveal the status of nuptiality by age and residence. Marital status in population studies covers currently married, widowhood, separated, unmarried and divorcee. Marital status is important to know the natural population growth rate and maternal and child health care facilities. 8. Population and migration studies. Population studies not only studies natural population growth, but it also population growth through socio-economic and political process. Thus, scope of population studies is broader in terms of national and global population growth rate through immigration and emigration process. 9. Population studies and sociology. Sociology and population studies treats population as social animal. Sociology deals with the action and reaction of social process and social interaction in the society. Both subjects are studying the social problems such birth, death, marriage, divorce, social organization, social groups, social race, sex, social discrimination, social norms, etc. Social stratification and social class are the main idea of sociologists, while for demography, population, characteristics in different strata of society and different class of society. Here population studies are quantitative study, while sociology is qualitative study of the population in the society. Hansraj. Kiss Smiley Population Studies and Anthropology Population Studies is broader, to study all the sects of society, while anthropology is concerned with the study of few sections of society. Both are studying the growth of population and social behavior of breeding, assertive mating and breeding, mutation and gene flow, eugenics, etc. 11. Population studies and legal studies. Population problems can be solved not only by socio-economic and political process but also by using legal process. Most of the problems which is prevalent in the society cannot be solved by the society, but legal professional can take care of this by using law and order. For example, marital status under age, voter rights, social rights, birth rights, domestic violence, gender discrimination, social discrimination, political rights, Indian Medical Termination of Pregnancy Act, 1972, etc. are the legal matters of the population. Both differs in terms of rigidity and flexibility, as legal is rigid by written law, while population studies is the situational flexible studies. 12. Population studies and human ecology. Population is the major factors for environmental degradation and consumers of natural resources. Population growth and quality of environment are inverse by related to each other. For example, if population increases, the utilization of natural resources increases, that affects environment through growth of industry and transportation. Hutchinson and Divya stated that ecology is nothing else but biodemography. It is well-known facts that population and food are closely related, which affects ecology. Population density and ecology are negatively related, which is good and conducive for human inhabitation. Ecologists concerned only environment and never bother about the cultural and social institutions, while population studies do that. Hans, Raj. 13. Population studies and psychology. Both subjects are concerned with human welfare and social behavior of the population. Family planning and sex preference are subject matters of both population studies and psychology. Use of contraception and family planning methods are subjects of population studies, while attitude and perception towards contraction, use and family planning methods are related to the psychology. Thus, population studies concerned about the physical activity process in the social system, while psychology concerned about the mental process of the population in social system. 14. Population studies and geography. Population studies is an inevitable component of the human geography. Geography deals with physical infrastructure for human welfare, while population studies deal with socio-economic, biological, political process, etc. for human welfare. Spatial distribution of population can be understood from geography, while size, composition and distribution of the population can be understood from population studies. According to Ackerman, geographers have taken the cultural features of the earth, analyzed them genetically and in their space relations, and established covariant relations of cultural features with each other and with the physical and biotic environment. These distributional features are common both to population studies and geography. Hansraj. It has been observed that geographic forces and demographic forces are closely related to each other and affects human welfare. Moreover, social behavior, food habits, span of life, birth and death rates, approaches to human problems, cultivation and division of labor are linked with geographical and physical conditions. Urbanization, rural-urban population, and migration are subjects matters of both geography and population studies. Geographers are interested on uncontrolled phenomenon of the environmental process, while population experts are interested on controlled variables of the society. For example, Climate, natural resources, rivers, forests, mountains, etc. are uncontrolled variables of the population studies, while facts, figures, and data about the population are controlled variables of the population studies. Geographers and demographers are stated that in hot regions low capital formation and higher birth rate are recorded as compared to other regions. 15. Population studies and agriculture. Population and agriculture are intimately interconnected. Without knowing population trends, agriculture scientists cannot understand the demand and supply of food to feed the mass. Earlier we have discussed ideas of Malthus and Bosrup regarding agriculture, food security and population growth. At present, agriculture professionals have challenges for food and nutrition security owing to changing demographic characteristics of the nation. In the era of liberalization, privatization and globalization, population studies and agriculture studies are most important issues and challenges for sustainable development and health. 14. Population studies and health studies. Morbidity rate and hospitality rate is the interest of population studies and health studies. Due to climate change, various kind of ailments are emerging year by year. Population studies indicate requirement of the health facilities infrastructure development at present and for future based on population growth. 1.6 Summary. The population studies is concerned with size or numbers, its structure and characteristics, its distribution, and the changes taking place over a period of time. It is also implied in this description that the subject matter of population studies includes the study of fertility, mortality, migration, and social mobility, that is, the components of change in the size, structure, characteristics, and distribution of population. Population structure implies the age and sex structure of the population, and population characteristics include such characteristics as marital status, literacy and educational status, labor force status, etc. Population characteristics, however, can and do change through social mobility, that is, through movements of individuals from one status to another, for example from single to married status, and also through fertility, mortality and migration. Asha and Tara. Thank you for watching. We will see you in the next video with next chapter.